Hi everyone, this is Dr. Catherine Kelly, and today I'm going to talk to you about something probably all of you have experienced in one way or another, and that is how we are drawn into chaos or drama or situations that in the beginning seem like they're the best things in the world, and then they blow up on us. So I want to help you understand this from the soul evolution perspective and also from the universe's perspective, because we've all had these experiences. And a lot of us come away shaking our heads going, what the heck just happened? Or gosh, I'm so stupid. Or, how could I let myself do that? And really, and I really do believe this, that the universe creates situations for us that brings us into or draws us to people or situations or jobs or experiences that we basically are supposed to learn and evolve from. And, I've experienced this several times. Definitely multiple clients have experienced this. And I try to explain what this magnetic thing is about. And it all makes sense to them after they understand it. So take, for instance, a relationship. And most of us have had one of those relationships where it's like, boom, it just feels so great to know this person. And we think that, we're going to be with this person for the rest of our lives. Or maybe it's a friend that we've met. And it's like, oh my gosh, I've known you for so long. And then boom, things blow up. So there's so many different dimensions to this, but really in a basic way, if you think about two magnets, think about the magnetic draw energetically. So magnets come together, they're drawn to each other. So just like those relationships or jobs or experiences, we're drawn into situations that basically, in the way that I now think, is that are ways that the universe tries to bring us into situations that we can learn from and need to evolve beyond in one way or another. Because oftentimes we have the same kind of reaction over and over again until we learn something. So let's go back and think about that relationship. So you meet a person, you are drawn to them, you think, oh my gosh, there is no way I can be without this person. There's no way I can live without this person in my life or experiencing this. You get into the relationship, and then at some point, something starts to happen that shifts or starts to flip one of those magnets. And the phenomenon is that, oh gosh, I was so drawn to this person. Why am I thinking this? I must be crazy. So people will try so hard to do whatever they have to do, include talking themselves into or deluding themselves that relationship is a healthy relationship. So they will try everything possible to flip that magnet back so that there's still that magnetic draw. And so I'm sure all of you are thinking about times when you've had this experience. So what happens with that magnet is that basically as that magnetic draw comes together, starts to flip, we try to flip it back, we have this little thing going on. But at some point, oftentimes the magnet flips so much that there's nothing we can do to get that back. And that's frustrating, that's hurtful, we question ourselves. There's a lot of internal turmoil because we basically think, oh my gosh, but why can't I make this work? And if I work hard enough, maybe I can flip it back. But really, if that magnet has flipped, it is going to repel. And we all know, we've probably all played with magnets at one point in our lives to try to push them together when they're on opposite ends, and they repel, they push themselves apart. And so at that point, there's nothing you can do to get that to reconnect. So think about relationships, think about jobs, think about whatever it is that you've been drawn into. And you can probably, in your mind, think back to, gosh, when did that magnet start flipping? And what did I do to try to keep it there? And, what was the struggle that I had that kept me in something that was really unhealthy or unproductive, or basically leading you down a path that was taking you way off of your truth, way off of your course, way off of your health. Because most, if not all of us, have done this at some point. But it's that whole idea that the universe creates situations for us that we can learn from. And so whether it's a relationship that draws us in, whether it's a job or career, whether it is a place that we're supposed to visit, whatever it is that we are drawn to, what that is it's the universe's way of trying to bring us into situations that we can learn from and grow from. And here's the trick. In most cases, we might learn a little bit about ourselves while that magnetic draw is happening. But in most cases, for the most part, it's in retrospect that we can look back at that whole process of the magnets coming together, people, jobs, whatever it is, and going, oh, wow, that's what I was supposed to learn. that's where it started to flip. And this is when I should have done something differently rather than try to force it back together. This is the point when I should have made a decision otherwise that would have helped me realign with myself. And so, really everything that happens around us is for our evolution. And I want to throw this whole thing in about what's happening with Trump being in office, because so many people are drawn to watching and watching and watching. And it's that same magnetic draw that if you are being drawn into watching, then there's something you are supposed to be learning from it. If you are drawn into being more of an activist, that's because you're supposed to learn from it. If you are drawn into really campaigning for a candidate that you do like, if there's, whatever it is, if you're being drawn into it, then you are supposed to learn from it. And so I would look at your life and see where those magnetic draws are for you and start to pay attention to when that magnet starts to flip or has flipped, and maybe what you're supposed to learn from it. Because again, every single thing that happens in our lives is done for us, not to us or against us. And that's how the universe works. The universe is out there to help us learn. Now, some people call it God, some people call it spirit. It's really all the same energy. There is a beautiful, wonderful force out there that is trying to help us learn and grow. And that magnetic draw is basically part of that energetic brilliance that is really out there to help us try to grow and evolve into our most highest good, our basically highest potential. So think about how that magnet has affected your life, and I would love to hear from you. When I tell clients about this, their eyes light up because they realize, gosh, this is an opportunity to learn. So think about that. I'd love to hear from you. Go to www.drkatherinetkelley.com, my website, for more information. Go to my YouTube page for more information, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.